People who go to others' homes for work. What is the weirdest thing you have seen? Electrician here. Was wiring a new room when I stumbled upon a secret door. Behind it? A small, fully decked out disco room, mirror ball, neon lights, the works, all crammed into a space no bigger than a closet. The homeowner just winked and said, "Every house needs a little secret party spot." I've seen a lot of odd things, but that secret disco takes the cake. Made me wish I brought my dancing shoes to work. EMS here. Responded to a local physician's home. Jars of piss everywhere. Also had a high-end sex doll that appears to have been very filthy, like the rest of the home. I used to do on-site tech support for an internet service provider. Both of my instances involved animals. One was a goat that was a house pet and chewed up the hem of my pants as I worked. The other was two pet chinchillas, which I was encouraged to interact with. They were so soft. On the drive home, my eyes started pouring water and eventually swelled shut. I had to pull over, flush them with water, and wait it out. Turns out I'm extremely allergic to chinchillas. Large beehive in a bedroom. It was inside the home and on the outside. Bedroom door was closed and owner said it's the bees' room now. Went to a house to evaluate it for residential solar. Very nice lady says, "Want to see my grow chamber?" It was a very professional setup, small amount of marijuana plants. She was going to expand. It wasn't legal at the time. I pointed out that after the solar was installed, a city inspector would be stopping by to inspect the connection at her electrical service panel, which was in the grow room. Edit. When I was a poolman, I walked through a backyard to a pool once and saw the owner clapping his wife via my peripherals. I came at the same day of the week, same time for over a year, so I don't think it was accidental. Got a great bonus that Christmas. Used to deliver furniture in college. Someone had us deliver a bunk bed to their basement sex dungeon. When I did a home visit for a lady with dementia with her husband, I noted their bedroom door was very unusual. It was split in half horizontally so that you could shut the door fully or just the bottom half on separate hinges. He explained that she would become more confused in the evening sundowning. It was to stop her from wandering out of the house while he was making dinner, but she would still be able to see out and talk to the family and he could keep an eye on her. It reminded me of a horse stable door. Never knew what to think of it. 234 estimate on interior repaint at John Travolta's Jambalaya Ocala house. The first guest bathroom you encounter was covered in wall and ceiling mirrors. I didn't know watching yourself toilet in 3D was a thing. Also, it was really poorly done. Like 9x9 mirrored tiles on all four walls and the ceiling. Not that a 3D mirrored bathroom could be tastefully done, but... Service technician here. Been to this guy's apartment unit where the carpet has been torn off, revealing the plywood. Windows were covered up by old cardboards that looks to be years old and breaking apart. Drywall behind the kitchen sink torn down. Sink filled with dirty moldy dishes. 5-gallon buckets filled with grease mold. Stove pulled out and is in the middle of the kitchen. Feces on the floor. Kitty litter box. This dude has no pet and the unit smelled like ass. Drove by the unit a few months later to see that it's getting remodeled. Looks like that tenant got evicted. Crazy thing is, he drove a Hellcat when it was first introduced and also had a Harley. He seems pretty sane and dressed casually. Would never imagine someone like that living in a dump. Wait, I've seen dumpsters cleaner than this guy's apartment. A 15-foot wide, 10 ft high new oil painting. Customer, you like it? Me, oh yeah, it's a nice painting. Him, that's my wife. She's on her way now, she'll be here soon. I then sat with the two of them for an hour, having a coffee right beside this massive nude painting, trying not to look at it or his wife. Interior designer did a consult for a fine artist. Every single wall was covered 12 ft ceilings with oil paintings of bare legal girls with their legs open, stacked against the walls 4-5 deep. Every single one had their legs spread. He had skills, but damn. The owners of the house were big game hunters. As soon as you walked through the door you were greeted by 2 giraffe shoulder mounts. And all throughout the house they had taxidermy everywhere. Walking across zebra skin rugs into a room with a whole pride of lions. Going up the stairs that were lined with ducks with a bobcat post to try and catch one. All of that, and they couldn't figure out a way to get the squirrel out of their attic. A ladder outside leading up to a small window in the attic. That's where his family of pet raccoons lived. The raccoons were using the ladder. Throwback to when a rich family paid me to tutor their son. Seemed fine. Kid was a little bray, but mostly nice. Then one day a few weeks in, I show up to the house. Kid lets me in. We were heading up to his room. And as we passed the living room, I get a full eyeful of his dad, slouching on the couch, jacking it to porn that he was watching practically full volume on the TV. Needless to say, I did not tutor for them much longer. I nannied for a family who was going through some serious shit behind the scenes, and it got weird for me so often. They had 2 kids, a 1.5-year-old girl and a 3-year-old boy. The mom, a doctor, would come home from work and lock herself in her room for hours while the kids banged on the door and cried for her. The dad, also a doctor, also locked himself in his office a lot and would make me be the go-between for his wife and himself. There was one morning he asked her what was for dinner tonight, and she burst into tears, pulled him behind a door, and furiously started whispering stuff, came back in the room, flung something out of the freezer, and stormed out. Nothing was normal in that house. The secret lives of rich people, eh? The wealthier the client, the weirder the shit they do in my experience. Deliverer of pizza here, delivered probably 20 pizzas to a motel room. Thing was, it was just one dude there and a whole lot of sexual paraphernalia scattered around the room. He also answered the door wearing nothing but cheetah print undies. That image will forever be burnt into my retinas. Cat piss line 6 inches high all the way around the living room. A sensory deprivation coffin-like thing. Florida is weird.